name is Felicia Wright, and this is the Go Rogue podcast. Do you feel stuck? Does every day feel like Groundhog's Day? Well, I'm here to tell you it's time to take charge of your life and know that you are meant for more than this. It's time to go rogue. This podcast is for people that are ready to say enough is enough and discover their new normal with entrepreneurship. Get ready because your rogue journey starts now. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Go Rogue podcast. I have another super special guest. Her name is Charlena Smith, and she's the owner of Optio.
Optio. Yep, Optio. You got it right.
Okay. And she is the owner of Optio, and it is an awesome service. And I'm not even going to begin to tell you about it because I'm going to let her tell you about it because it's pretty phenomenal. I've dived into it myself and checked it out, and it's really exciting. So welcome, Charlena. How are you?
I'm doing really well, Felicia. It's so nice to be here with you.
Yay, I'm super excited. She has an amazing story. But before we dive into that, I would love for you to tell us about what you do and your background.
Sure. So I have this like windy, curvy road of how I got to where I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit. But now I'm running a guided accountability platform for women. It's all about empowering women, no matter what stage of life they're in. They may be in a really good place, or they may be in a place where they're really struggling. And we pair them based on their personality. So we developed this really complicated algorithm, and NASA scientists put it together for us because Lord knows I could not. And we take those personality results and we match you with somebody that's going to bring out the best in you. And it's really interesting because that person is different than the person that is usually your best friend.
Wow.
Yeah. We've had a lot of interesting relationships come out of this, and people are truly, truly wonderful friends. It's almost like family that they never would have even known without this personality assessment matching them, because, in organic circles, they would not have found one another. And then they see each other through to their goals for 13 weeks. And we have had people accomplish amazing things.
That is phenomenal. For a while, I was looking for an accountability partner. And I remember being very disappointed because we just weren't good fits, because we were just trying different personalities and stuff. So I think that's a phenomenal service because we all need that accountability. I know I personally need it probably more than most, but so I love that.
Right.
So I really want to dive into what led you down this path. So how did you get here?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So it's a long path, girlfriend. It is. So I had the kind of perfect life in the beginning. Like I was single for a really long time, like enjoyed my singleness, then found my Prince Charming. We started the whole white picket fence house dog 2.5 kids.
Yeah.
That was our goal. And everything was going wonderfully. And then I had a really horrible pregnancy. I had hyperemesis, which if you don't know what that is, it's like morning sickness times 1,000,000. So I literally couldn't keep anything down. Yeah, the worst. So I was fed intravenously. I had all my fluids intravenously. Like that's how bad it is. Like I am talking like this is like the worst.
That is really bad.
Yeah. So what did I do? I thought that was such a good idea that I decided to have another one right away. So dumb.
So memory.
I know. It's that mom memory, the mom fog, like you forget how bad it is. And my husband literally has a recording of me on the bathroom floor the second time saying, "Don't let me do this again." But yeah, it was, the doctors told us that it probably wouldn't happen again. And then sure enough, it did. And it was worse. So yeah, it actually landed me in the ICU for 6 months after the baby was born. I missed his first birthday. And I was a crazy workaholic before this. I was the COO of a marketing company. I was a tenured professor at a very, very respected university, the largest in our state. And I was pursuing my PhD very actively.
Doing all the things while super sick, right? So silly. And that's kind of how Optio developed, is that I didn't have somebody telling me, "Girl, stop. What are you doing? Get your priorities in line. Like you think this is important, but it's not." And
That is what I needed. That is so desperately what I needed. And it's so funny. I love the name of your podcast, The Go Rogue. So our family had a family meeting after all this stuff. And are you familiar with the one word that'll change your life book?
No, but you had mentioned it before.
Yeah.
And it was like,
okay.
what?
Yeah. So it's this really great book. You can literally read it in, I think, 42 minutes. They timed it. That's how long it takes to read it.
Wow.
But it's basically like, instead of making New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, you pick one word and then you use that one word to guide your year. Well, our family decided that we were going to pick the first word that we chose was be. And we were just going to be. And we spent a lot of time in meditation, contemplation, deep breathing, just kind of restoring our health and getting back to being who we were. Well, our second year, we decided rogue. Rogue was our word.
What?
I know.
That's so crazy.
I know. So I quit my job. Because it was too much stress. It was literally killing me. It was it literally almost killed me multiple times. And if I have one message to women, don't let it get that far,
Powerful.
There are so many warning signs and they're out there and you can see them. And there's just so much more to life than a job that you're miserable in. So anyway, I quit everything. I literally quit everything. We decided to homeschool our kids. We went on the road and followed my husband around for his work career, which is...
You legit went rogue.
We totally went rogue.
It was your word.
Yes, we went rogue all year. And it was amazing. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And then at the end of that, we had learned so much. And honestly, I was kind of done with going rogue, living on the road for so long. After a year, I was like, okay, I need a little bit more sanity. And we came back and then our word was discipline. So we were getting into a disciplined routine, and that is where Optio came to be. So we wanted to give access to women to be the best versions of themselves, no matter what season they're in. And it serves, when you have a partnership, this symbiotic partnership with another woman, like Optio provides, it's deep, it's real, it's vulnerable, and it really allows you to see those blind spots that you've been missing. And it's blind spots that your family and friends might not tell you about, but this other woman that has your back and is really out, it really has your best interest at heart. She's going to tell you, and she's going to help guide you along this journey. And then you are also going to help guide her.
Yeah, I love that. And I really want to go back to that catalyst point of where, things hit the fan and you finally made that decision to go rogue. What made you choose yourself over, all the things, the job, what you're supposed to be doing as a mom and as a woman?
Right. So, like I said, I ended up with this. I literally had to stop doing everything. I was hospitalized for 6 months, and then I was intubated for 3 months. So I couldn't talk. I couldn't say anything.
Wow.
Girlfriend, I was taking client calls up until the minute they intubated me. That is how psychotic I was that's how type A, how career driven I was. It's insanity, right? When I say that out loud, it sounds crazy. And then even after that, I had to go through physical therapy. I had to learn to talk again. I had to learn to walk again. I had to learn to do everything all over again. And when I healed, I actually went back to starting to do exactly what I was doing before I was in the hospital. And yes, it was that ingrained in my DNA, that ingrained in who I am, that's what I was supposed to be doing. And a couple weeks in, my son, who is a wonderful, wonderful little soul, his teacher called me and said, I need to talk to you about your kiddo's imagination. I think he might be starting to borderline on lying about things and seems really convinced that it's true. And I was like, okay, well, tell me what do you think? What happened? I'm really concerned. And she said, well, he has this illusion that his dad rides a bicycle, takes the train, and goes and builds rocket ships. And he is holding firm to that being what his dad does. And I was like, lady, okay. My husband literally rides a folding bike to the train that he gets on to take to Washington, D.C., where he does, in fact, build rocket ships as a rocket scientist. So, like, so that was really cute. And then I was like, but just out of curiosity, what did he have to say about me? And she said, oh, he said, you're the one that makes the commercials that everyone has to fast forward through.
Whoa.
And all of it was right there. Everything was in that moment. And I was like, he is so proud of his father, advancing science, advancing mankind. And here I am leaving my family every day to go build things that people fast forward through that are just annoying. And it was my, come to Jesus moment. I was like, I am going back and doing this exact same thing. I am not doing it anymore. We are not doing this anymore.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. So that was our point. It was this wonderful 5-year-old story.
And I was just going to say that, like, your story is, while it's unique, I feel like this happens to women all the time, where our back's up against the wall and we just keep chugging through, doing all the things, even though we're crazy sick. I've had my own story where I just kept working and I was sick.
Yeah.
And, sometimes we don't even give ourselves credit for the things that we were able to accomplish when we were so sick. So your story is so inspirational because it's a testament to how strong women are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have, one of the reasons Optio was started is because I discovered that I am actually at my best when I'm at my worst. So when I'm sick and the world is falling apart, I am the one that holds it all together. But I don't want to live that life. I don't want to have to live in a world of chaos falling apart in order to be my best self.
Yeah.
So that is where we are like, no, there is a sweet spot for women. There is a sweet spot. You do not have to do this. You do not, you feel trapped, but you're not.
The power of the pivot.
Yes, there is light. There are so many different ways once you get out of your own head. After all this, I did tons of research and found there are so many women that literally make themselves so sick because they just take on too much.
Yeah.
And they think they have to, and they don't. It's just crazy. I have so much respect for our gender in general, and I am so proud of us as women.
Yeah.
I just really want women to know that they have the choice to do what they want, and it doesn't have to be all the things.
Yes, and that's super powerful. And the fact that your program, your business is supporting women through their entrepreneurial journey is super helpful, because women, even though there are some support out there, but I feel like there's not enough. And we don't take advantage of what is there. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And it's hard to know what's there sometimes. It's like one of the things that makes Optio so successful is that it carves out that time and gives you that space to actually spend on self-reflection, on thinking about, okay, I am running 800 miles an hour. Am I running in the right direction? If you're 2 degrees off at 800 miles an hour, your trajectory is completely off of where you actually want to go. So having that time, that 45-minute space once a week to make sure that you are on the right path saves you an exponential amount of time in the long run.
I love that. And of course, this leads me to my next question, which is perfect for what you're doing. Who's the number one mentor or person that has really changed your life? It could be you, it could be multiple people. Who would you say that is for you?
Oh gosh, that's so hard. So there are so many women that I love and admire and respect. Right now I've been reading a lot of Michelle Obama's stuff, and just how I know. She gets my heart. But if we're talking living woman, also, I feel like everybody says Oprah, but Oprah has actually grew up right around the block from me.
Really?
Yeah. So it's this really interesting where I'm like, oh my gosh. And how many things she went through and how strong she is. And the kind of person that she is now is just so inspiring to me. But there are so many women. And then not just that, but my family. My husband, when I was sick, he never left the ICU. He never left he stood outside of my little, quad that was all suction air proofed with all those crazy gadgets and stuff.
Yes.
And he never left. And our community brought him food. Our community took care of him, took him in. I mean, it was just, our church took care of him. He took showers in those little sinks in the bathroom, with a little puffy soap. And I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. It's like crazy. I mean, it's so funny now. It's funny now. It wasn't very funny then.
Yeah.
But
at least we can laugh right now, right?
Yes. Yes. So yeah, he was totally my hero. I mean, I have never seen somebody step up in that kind of way and show that kind of support. And my kids, I would never know that I was doing the wrong thing if they hadn't been those little truth tellers that they are and pointed out the obvious.
Exactly. They are a little too truthful sometimes.
I know.
How old are your kids?
They are 5 and 7.
5 and 7. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, and ooh-wee.
Yes.
Ooh-wee.
I know. I know, it's so funny. My oldest had a speech delay in the beginning, and we were working so hard to get him to talk. And then all of a sudden he started talking, and he would tell people these things, not like nasty things, but like, tell my sister, "Oh, mommy said that you're grumpy today." And I was like, no, take the words back.
You did not say that.
I was like, well, actually you kind of are grumpy. So it was so precious, but
I love that.
Tellers to the core.
Okay, as we wrap this up, I want to really ask you, what is your number one piece of advice for a woman that might be struggling, that wants to start her rogue journey, but doesn't know where to start or what to do? What's your number one piece of advice for her?
I would say, really know that everything you need is in you now.
Wow.
And that is really, I know that that's so hard for us to really grasp and hold on to, but I firmly believe it as an absolute positive truth that everything you need to do anything you want to do in your life is in you now. And if you start looking for those windows, if you start looking for those opportunities, they're going to start appearing everywhere.
That is so powerful. And, I say these interviews are for other women, but I swear I get so much out of them. And that last question is my favorite because it's like, oh, that's such a juicy nugget. I'm going to keep that. Oh, that's such a juicy nugget. Like,
I have Post-its written all over my office that are like reminding me.
Yeah. And that's so powerful because we're always looking outside of ourselves. And I did a post about this about 2 months ago where I said, I'm going to stop looking outside of myself for the answers because I have them. Excuse me, I have a cold. I'm going to stop looking outside of myself for the answers because I have them and I know, and I need to stop seeking approval. So I love that. All right, Charlena, I would love for you to share where people can find you because I know they're going to seek you out because you are a phenomenal, powerful woman.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, we just got the top Google hit for guided accountability.
I
know, search engine optimization for the win.
Yes.
But yeah, you can find us at myoptio.org. It's myoptio.org. And I'd love to encourage anyone just to kind of check it out. We have tons of Facebook groups, private groups, Instagram. We're on all the channels. Typically it's under myoptio. And you can connect through the site as well. And also, I would love to offer your listeners a discount code if that's okay, Felicia.
Of course. Super
awesome.
exciting.
So we have a really cool 2-question personality quiz that is like, we worked really hard on it. It's like a brain scan in 2 questions. So yeah. I encourage you to take that. It's on the site under the free portion and it's just fun. But if you decide to register and you use the promotional code ROGUE, you will get $50 off your first month with Optio. So I really encourage you to check it out. It's pretty fun and it'll get you on track.
Well, thank you so much for that because I know women will definitely benefit from that. That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much, Charlena. If you want to go check it out, all this information will definitely be in the show notes for everybody to check out. And you can hit up Charlena and go take that free quiz, and the promo code will definitely be in the show notes as well. So thank you so much, Charlena, for being here. If you are on your Rogue journey, definitely head over to the Go Rogue community. You can find that at bit.ly/Rogue community and let everybody know where you're at in your Rogue journey. So thank you so much, ladies, and I'll catch you next time.